Hey everybody, it's Maggie from Personal Euphoria with today's plank story. If you don't want to plank today, you can either sit or stand, but you're just going to do some pelvic tilts, rocking to what we call imprint, lengthening the low back, and neutral, creating your natural curve. But when you do that, try not to squeeze your butt and do it. Instead, try to move from your abs so it can be subtle. But, all right, so that's the move if you don't want to be planking. The plank today is about how Monday night, Matt and I went to my brother and sister-in-law's and we had a blind taste test of vanilla ice cream for the best vanilla. We included nine brands. Now, we were inspired to do this because of a New York Times article, and the New York Times article said that Ben & Jerry's had the best vanilla. Now, I'm a massive Ben & Jerry's fan. Like, don't get between me and my fish food. But I did think, never having had Ben & Jerry's vanilla, Ben & Jerry's is a lot good, but I don't go to Ben & Jerry's for vanilla. So we wanted to do this taste test ourselves. And we picked a bunch of ice creams based on what the New York Times article said, what was available, and what we thought we'd like. And totally blind. We didn't know what it was. We had like a chart and graph for texture and creaminess and vanilla flavoring. And could we guess what brand it was? And we didn't talk to each other while we did it. And then we compiled our results. And the winner, hands down, was Aldi's. Not like Aldi's name brand. They have a brand that's called like Specialty. It won by leaps and bounds, no question. Second place was Van Leeuwen, which I had never heard of. It comes in the pint. And while it was very good, if I want vanilla ice cream, it's not what I'm going to go for. It tasted more like a custard, so it was good, but like when you're thinking vanilla ice cream, for me, this wasn't it. And third place was Breyers. And the last place was one of the most expensive. It was double for a half gallon, or they're not half gallons anymore, whatever they are, but it was double anything else, was Alden's, Aldens, which you can get at Whole Foods, although it's not like Whole Food. The Whole Foods like generic brand scored much higher than Alden's. But all of us, as we took a bite of this, we took a bite and we're like, ugh, we didn't know what it was, but we marked it bad, like flavorless, like everyone had a bad reaction to that one. But what's become interesting is, so I commented about this on Facebook, and at the time I was mistaken. My sister-in-law looked at all our charts. I had thought Breyers came in second. It came in third, and I thought it was delicious. But people have strong opinions on Breyers. People are like, you shouldn't eat Breyers. It's the highest sugar content. You shouldn't eat Breyers. It doesn't melt. And our Breyers melted. I can say for sure it melted. And also it got me looking because I wondered where the sugar content was. Like, did the one we liked the most have more? How did that fit in? And Breyers didn't have higher sugar than the other ones I looked at. What I liked about the Aldi's brand we got is it was truly all natural. It had milk, cream, eggs, sugar. That's it. And I always prefer to get ice cream with that. I think even if my favorite choice didn't have just 4 ingredients, I wouldn't switch to it. I rather just eat 4 ingredients, like real things I could make myself. The Breyers did have a number of fake things in it, but people's like, how upset people got about Breyers got me Googling. And so I Googled, like, why do people think Breyers doesn't melt? Because again, ours melted. And I thought some other ice cream manufacturer must have like done something to make everybody hate on Breyers. But what I came to were like, if you search the internet, Breyers ice cream doesn't melt, you find stuff all over. Because in 2016, someone posted a YouTube video and apparently left Breyers out on the counter and it never melted. And so Snopes did some research, and I'm a little conflicted because they were like, they've said it's like false, that that Breyers ice cream melts. What was used in the video was a frozen dairy dessert, which doesn't have to meet the FDA standards of ice cream, but is FDA approved to eat. And that a lot of things, or maybe not a lot, but certainly Breyers isn't the only brand that offers frozen dairy desserts. So I don't have the package of what we got anymore since it melted. I think it's ice cream, but I don't know if they make one ice cream and also a frozen dairy dessert. I thought, like, we're splitting hairs here to say that it's false and doesn't melt because, okay, it's not their ice cream that doesn't melt, but what they package as ice cream under frozen dairy dessert apparently doesn't melt. And isn't supposed to. Like, they put things in it to try to get it less freezer burned, which makes it melt less, and hence that's why everybody's adding all these additives to reduce freezer burn and make ice cream last longer. I don't know. Everything takes you down a fascinating rabbit hole. So for what it's worth, sorry for that long ramble. You've been doing plank for an hour. I'd love your feedback on what your favorite vanilla is. And if you have more info on this Breyer's ice cream versus frozen dairy dessert. Thanks for listening, and as always, have a great day and keep moving.